All right, so trial number 3 or 4. I think I can get this done now. All right, so at the bottom of our notes from Friday, we were talking about what's called the ambiguous case. So it kind of helps to actually visualize the ambiguous case. So the ambiguous case is when you have angle side side, except if you notice, I have the ability where I could kick out that second side and I could make a second triangle. So I could have angle C be my obtuse angle, or I could have angle B be my obtuse angle. So those are kind of how that ambiguous case kind of works. All right, so I am given side A and side B. So I'm actually going to draw this one a little bit different so you guys can kind of see what happens when we kick it out. So also I'm sitting on the floor in the back of my classroom right now. All right. Burp. This is A. So I've got 35 right here, and I've got the side length of 6 over here. And then we're going to call this B. I wanted the other color. B and C, but B is now over here, and that gives me my option for it. Now, what I can also do with this is I could swing this 6 side out to give me my second option. So I know I have angle side side no matter what. So I'm going to have to start with my checks to see if I have one solution or 2 solutions. Because remember, these are much harder to tell when you go through to do them. So angle A was acute, so now I have to find the height. Now the height is side 2 times the sine of angle 1. Now, the reason I'm writing this out is because earlier in the morning, we just thought it was 2 times it, and it's because we forgot the whole word in front of it. So side 2 is that 8. I'm going to multiply it by the sine of 35 degrees. So this gives me, give me my calculator, a length of 4.588. So I've got my height, I've got side 1, and then I've got side 2. So if you remember that little stickum I gave you, this is when we have 2 potential solutions. All right, so let's start with option 1. All right, option 1 is where we just solve for angle B like normal. So I've got, it rotated. Come back. There we go. I've got sine of A over side A equals, and I'm going to use sine of B so I can find angle B. So it's sine of 35 over 6 equals sine of whatever angle B is over 8. So I'm going to start cross multiplying, not zooming, just cross multiplying. So I've got 8 sine 35 equals 6 times sine of B. Divide by 6, that cancels. So I have sine inverse of 8 sine of 35 over 6, and this is going to actually equal angle B. So I end up getting angle B equals 49.9 degrees. Cool. From here, I'm going to actually use this to find my second option for angle B. All right, so to do that, I hate Cami with a passion when I'm trying to do this. That's page 2. Everybody go away. Here we go. So we called this option 1. To do option 2, We are going to take 180 degrees and I'm going to subtract off our first option for angle B. This gives us our second option for angle B. So this is B2. This is B1. Now, if I've got B1, I can go through and continue solving the rest of my triangle. So here's B1. I need angle C because that's going to be the next easiest thing to solve for. And angle C is going to be 180 minus 35 minus 49.9, and that gives me 95.1. So then I've got sine of 95.1 over side C equals, and I'm going to keep using that stuff for A because I'm lazy. So C equals 6 times sine of 95.1 over sine of 35. So C ends up equaling 10.42. So there's 1, here's 2, there's our third part. All right, now I personally like to kind of go through and solve all of option 1 first. And then because now I've got down here what side B is, I can just go through and finish finding all of the stuff for C again. So angle C is now going to be 180 minus the 35 from earlier minus this 130.1. So that gives me a super teeny tiny angle for C of 14.9 degrees. All right, and final steps, sine of 14.9 over whatever C is equals, go back to sine of 35 over 6. So C equals 6 times sine of 14.9 over sine of 35. Buttons, buttons, buttons. What do I have? Here we go. 2.69. So the ambiguous case is literally called ambiguous because that's what it is. It's a little difficult to figure out which triangle they're looking for because there's 2 opportunities. So remember, my first opportunity was when C was my larger angle. My second opportunity was when B was the larger angle. So I kind of just like the little graph because it's fun and it's animated, but it lets you kind of see, oh, okay, there are really 2 options for this. All right. So the last thing we needed to cover in the notes was this Coast Guard station and going through this one. So there is a sticky note or a sticker for this top part, and Mr. Lucas will have it. So that way you guys can stick this part in and it makes life a little easier. So we got some pictures to draw. All right, we got a Coast Guard station. It's 120 miles due west. Now, when they say due west, what they mean is straight west. So actually, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to edit this a little bit. Can I hit enter a couple more times so I have room to draw the stupid picture? Yes, I can. All right. So
X here.
all right, Zulu is located due west of X-ray. So when I say due west, here's Zulu, here's X-ray. It's almost like opposite of what it sounds. What they're really saying is if you're standing at X-ray, straight to the left, which is west, would be Zulu. All right. Now, they both get an SOS call from a boat way out yonder. That's the boat. All right. So my bearings from Zulu are north 40 degrees east. So that means this little angle in here is 40 degrees, which means this interior angle that I really need is 50.
Miss Mason, where's the second with the flow chart?
The flow chart should be up by Preston up there.
No, I know where, like.
They're not stickers. They're just little quarter sheets.
Where do I get to the notes that have
Oh, you just click to the right arrow.
I forgot we're not done, guys. We're just done with this part.
Click again. There it is.
Okay.
Sorry. All right. So I had to find where the next page of the notes were. All right. So here's that one. Then I've got this little doohickey mabobber over here. And it is north 30 degrees west. So this is 30, which means this interior angle is going to be 60. All right. So this is my boat. We could draw a little boat if you want. Boat, sinking. They're yelling help. They are drowning. Hopefully not. We're going to come save them. So I can go through. I've got 110 degrees, which means this upper angle is now going to be 70. So the first thing I need to do is figure out how far each of them are away. Now, the one thing I am missing is this 120 miles that goes right here. So now that we've drawn this lovely picture, let's be real, it's a little complicated. So let's just kind of redo it. A, B, C, 50, 70, 60, 120. All right. So I need to find all of my sides. So I'm going to start with sine of 70 over 120 equals sine of 50 over A. A is going to equal 120 sine of 50 divided by sine of 70. Calculator time. A ends up equaling 97.82 miles away. All right. And that's from Zulu to the boat. So 97.82. Now the last part is sine of 70 over the 120 equals sine of 60 over, oh crap on a cracker. I wrote them in the wrong spot. That's not 97. This is 97. Because remember, Zulu is over here. All right, so sine of 60, going to be over whatever C is. So C ends up equaling 110.59 miles. All right. So who ends up being closer? Well, if angle C is over here, that means this is the 110. So it definitely seems like X-ray is closer. All right. A helicopter is capable of flying at 200 miles an hour and it is dispatched from the nearest station. So guess what? We're dispatching it from X-ray. All right. So X-ray is sending a helicopter. All right. How long is it going to take to get there? Well, remember, what is it? Distance equals rate times time. Well, I don't know how long it is. So I need to go distance divided by my rate equals time. So remember, the distance was the 110.59 miles. And we said the helicopter can go 200 miles an hour. Now, if I end up dividing that, oh, wait, we want to do the closer one. That's not the 110. JK. Stop it.
Side 2.
Give me back my pen. Thank you. So we're actually going to go from the shorter one, which is 97.82, because that's how far X-ray actually is away. I divide it, and I get 0.49 hours. which if I take 0.49 and I multiply it by 60 minutes, I end up with about 29 minutes for that helicopter to get there. Now, we could do it again for the other one and do the 110.59 over 200 miles an hour. And I get 110.59 divided by 200.55, which, if I multiply that by my 60 minutes, it's really only a 4-minute difference when you're traveling that fast. But if you're drowning, that 4 minutes can be really important. But this is just the end of the notes. I wanted to make sure you guys had it, so you were good to go. Sorry, it was kind of squirrely. It's a little hard to do it while class is going on.